Lucille shivered as the cold air hit him, but Broad gave him fresh clothes to change into and told him to meet him in the cafeteria. After changing, Lucille grimaced at his old clothes, feeling disgusted by them. Just then, Nanella entered, complimenting Lucille for his work with the adventurers. She offered to wash his clothes, but Lucille hesitated, not wanting her to do it. Nanella reassured him, saying she would take care of it. Later, Broad surprised Lucille with a large meal, telling him it was all for him to eat. Lucille was taken aback, but happily dug in, feeling satisfied after finishing the food. Broad then explained that Lucille would be using a room for rest and would be busy the next day. Despite the early hour, Lucille couldn't sleep and decided to work on improving his skills instead. The next day, Broad introduced Lucille to Gulgar, a tough-looking man who claimed to be the best cook. Gulgar offered Lucille a strange, unappealing drink that was said to boost strength and endurance, though it tasted awful. Lucille hesitated but decided to drink it, enduring the disgusting taste. Shortly after, he felt a surge of energy and excitement, realizing the drink had worked. With renewed energy, Lucille headed off to join Broad, while Gulgar, impressed by Lucille's determination, watched him go. Lucille reflected on his time at the guild, now feeling more confident and ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Lucille had been at the Adventurers Guild for almost a week, getting used to the tough training under his instructor Broad. Broad was harsh and relentless, always pushing Lucille to his limits. Though it was exhausting, Lucille stayed determined, wanting to improve his skills. He tried to stay positive, even though the pain was tough, believing that pushing through was part of the process. Lucille eagerly asked for another chance to try again, even though Broad wasn't impressed with his efforts. One day, while healing a cat woman who had been bitten by a were-rat, Lucille noticed how kind the adventurers were to him. Despite being nervous, he treated her for free, treating all injuries equally, no matter the race. He was gaining a reputation for his healing abilities, which made him feel proud. But, as Lucille continued his harsh training routine, he started feeling as though someone was watching him. He confronted Broad about it and learned that the adventurers were worried Lucille might leave since they relied on him for healing. Lucille agreed to stay for a month, but insisted that the watching stop. He even jokingly threatened to make Broad drink a disgusting strength-enhancing potion if he caught anyone spying on him. As the month went on, Lucille began making more connections with the adventurers, including the Catwoman who had thanked him before. He also started focusing on his magic and target practice. But despite the hard work, Lucille realized he had a long way to go. He had yet to master anything, but he was determined to stick it out, telling himself that patience would eventually pay off. Lucille had been working hard, training under Broad for a whole month, but today, her contract with the Adventurers Guild was finally coming to an end. Broad then surprised him by handing over 12 silver coins, a reward for his hard work. Lucille was hesitant, but accepted the gift, realizing it was enough to cover his fees. After his departure, Lucille received a year's worth of payment from Monica to cover his offering, and she assured him he would focus on getting stronger and eventually becoming independent. Broad was waiting for him, and without asking for his permission, he had his adventurer card renewed. Lucille was frustrated, but determined to keep moving forward. Later, Broad handed him a book titled Encyclopedia of Low-Level Holy Magic, telling him to study it so he could learn the heal and cure spells needed for his progress as a healer. Lucille, while teasing Broad, promised to work hard from that moment on. But his training was far from easy. Gulgar handed him a drink, Substance X, which he reluctantly drank, grimacing at the taste but vowing to keep going, eager to improve and prove himself. With his strength growing, Lucille felt ready to face whatever came next, even if it meant enduring more discomfort for the sake of progress.